I'm like, feel like I'm having a fluent conversation, and they ask her like, does he understand?
As soon as we met, I directly started to ask, how do you say this in Portuguese? And now I want to learn Portuguese.
Are you ready? Okay.
I'm born ready.
You're born ready. Okay.
In what language did you meet? Do you remember what you said to each other?
No, but when we met in person or online?
Yeah. There is a difference.
Yeah.
English was the common language. You sit on the sofa
Yeah.
with friends, and I approach to you and I ask if we ever met, if I know you from somewhere.
I think we were speaking English, but then you were speaking Spanish to your friends.
In English, we said a lot of funny things.
Do you remember what I said back?
Yes, in no way. I'm nearly 2 weeks in Berlin.
Yeah, there's
So
no way I
we
could know
each
you.
other.
And here we are.
Do you speak each other's languages? And what do you like about your partner's language?
No, I don't speak Italian, not yet, but I'm gonna learn at some point.
I really like Spanish in general. Like, I always thought it was a beautiful language. Even since I was a child and visited Spain, I thought it was amazing. So it's like amazing to be able to actually speak it myself on a daily basis.
Hey, you use a lot of it, bro.
I'm learning a lot of it. Haim Sheli, Motek, Laila Tov, Poketov. But it's nice because first of all, it sounds really nice and it's a very fast language. Like you can say a really long sentence with like 5 words. So I like the rushedness of it because it's the same in Korean too.
I like that it's kind of like a secret language that my boyfriend has. It's like when I hear it on the phone and it's very like tuk, 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 tuk.
When it's family reunions, everyone speaking English because I'm there, but at some point they switch to Dutch and I just try to listen to the sounds and enjoy the K's and the strong sounds. It's even more than in German. I didn't realize before, but now I really like how it sounds.
One says that speaking another language often shapes a new personality. Do you feel this as well?
Definitely when switching languages, it's never the same voice.
I make fewer jokes in Spanish because it's more difficult to either be as fast or to be as witty or...
I have to think a bit more about saying stuff. And I think in English I'm more like reserved.
If one day we're gonna speak each other language, like something's gonna change. Because for example, for German, like learning German, it definitely changed my personality a bit. Like I was like the cliche chaotic Italian. I'm still chaotic,
Completely.
but like with German, I had to learn structure. I had to learn organization, which I think German is also a very organized and structured language, you know?
Would you be ready to forget your mother tongue to perfectly speak your partner's?
I feel like I've already forgotten my mother tongue.
My grandparents would kill me, so no.
No way.
No way.
At this point, I would rather forget Dutch than forget Spanish because it's more important in my life.
It's less question.
Dun dun dun.
And then we customize our own question.
And then we ask them questions.
Right. What item could be a symbol or relate to your relationship?
After like, I think the 3rd date, we was in my place.
Yeah.
And we cook a dinner. And the first thing I want to grab is the spice for the base of the cooking.
I literally did this. I was like, and then I was like, and then I cried, like tears of joy, because these spices are so familiar to me from kinds of Korean cuisine.
It was the best way I can show who I am and where I came from without talking hours of explanation in like a long version of English. But very fast we understand we came from kind of the same flavors, not in the same way of cooking.
Yeah.
And it's completely 2 different sides of the world.
Yeah, so this is a hiking map of a valley in Brazil, in Bahia. Yeah, this was like our first big trip together, and it was when we were actually learning another language together, because this was now we like started to speak a language that was new to both of us.
We always go to technology shops and I used to tell him, I love this camera like that too.
So vintage. And I brought earplugs. I think the very first day he complained that I breathed too heavily. And I was like, no, you're too sensitive during the night. Like, that's why you don't sleep. And then we had this like discussion going on, but really from the very beginning, I think.
Sometimes language is just the vessel in like how you express that, right? Like a hug doesn't need any languages.